Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you again for allowing me to be part of your day. Guys, there's one of me. There's over 1,000 of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There are people that have been here from the jump, and there are people that have come along, and then there are people that have just gotten here. All I could say is that I just appreciate it, and I won't let you down. I always am very active in the comments, so please communicate with me. I'm not great at my emails, but you could always reach me at toddyonesskip@gmail.com. If you have any ideas that you want me to cover, if there's something you want to talk about, not throw it out there. Just be patient with me about that, about the emails and such. Guys, I wish I could mention everybody's name and say thank you personally, but I will leave people out, and I don't want to do that. So you guys know, and I appreciate it. Guys, I talked to you about, and I'm feeling better, by the way. So I plan on working tonight. So I plan on putting another video. Some stuff has popped off in Scientology that I want to talk about. And I also want to investigate more of the stuff with Gypsy. And also, I definitely am doing a video about Nick. But here, this is about Danny. So yesterday, I put out a video about Danny being gotten by a gang, and that's why they moved him out of Corcoran. And so the truth is that that happened, and apparently there were 3 people that got to Danny while 2 guards were walking him out because the inmates got word that Danny was going to be moving. So how does that happen? Well, there's a lot of trustee jobs inside of jails and prisons, and a trustee job is an inmate's job, and usually they take that job. It's for very little bit of money, but that little bit of money can go places, and you can turn something more into that money. So that's not what I really want to talk about. I'll talk about that at some point if you want, but it's more when an inmate gets a job, it's more to get them out of their cell, and they usually get a lot of perks from that job. So if they're doing their laundry, so every day you can bet that they're in a brand new spanking clean jumpsuit. You know what I'm saying? If they're working in the kitchen, you know that they're getting extra meals. If they're working in the commissary, they're getting extra candy bars or ramens, any broken things. So that's just the way it is. I know I worked in the jails. I can't imagine it being much different in the prison system. I've been in the prison system as civilians, actually in their commissaries, selling greeting cards, believe it or not. Long story. Anyway, so I do know some of how things work, but no, I never worked in a prison. But what happened with Danny was some people that wear badges, that their integrity needs to be a little questioned, because there's leaks that way too. So not only could somebody be hearing something that they should be keeping to themselves, it could also be a deputy or a CO telling an inmate, because they're a shit stirrer, because they're only people, and not everybody that wears a badge is a good person. We all know that. That's included in the jails. That's totally included in the correctional systems. So, guys, what happened was they were going to move Danny because they had heard that he was in danger where he was at, and that would look messy. If we know on the outside that Danny's got a hit on him, then they know on the inside that they should know. It doesn't look good if something were to happen. So they were going to move Danny, and these inmates apparently knew this was the last time that they were going to touch him. They didn't care that there were guards around him. There were 3 inmates. Apparently 1 came from the back and 2 came from the sides, and they just got their hands on him. There wasn't any shanks. There wasn't anything besides their hands. They pulled his hair. They probably scratched him and stuff. They scared him. For sure, they scared him. And the deputies soon got control of the situation, and it happened close to the Sally Port as he was leaving. So, Sally Port. So, the Sally Port. Sally Port is a secure area that's usually around the tower, which the tower kind of controls the whole area. There's cameras and monitors all over the tower. So the sally port is an enclosed area that has a door on one side and a door on the other side and a space in between. In order for any of those doors to open, the other door can't be open. So in other words, you'd get into the sally port, you'd open up to get into the sally port, you'd open up the door, step inside, that door behind you would close, the door in front of you would then open. At no time would both those doors be open at the same time. It's a very secured area. So just so you understand what the sally port is. Just so you know, some people would call it a vestibule in a jail. They're not really calling it that. I can't imagine them calling it that in the jail. It's a sally port. So, and he was gotten. Now, if he would have gotten on the other side of the sally port, where the door would have closed, and he would have been encased in there, he would have been safe. But he didn't make it that far. So they were able to stop the fight, or the assault. There wasn't much fighting. There was an assault. And they brought Danny back to his cell, and about an hour and a half later, they moved him again. So here's the thing. Here's where prison and Scientology have something in common, okay? So in Scientology, it's believed that anything that's bad that happens to you, you bring it on to yourself. In prison, they think the same thing. Danny brought this on to himself because of his bad behavior. So yesterday I showed a video of the prison that Danny's in now, which is a men's colony, and it's in San Luis Obispo in California. And I think that's where he's going to do his time until something happens there and they move him again. So I guess we're going to be watching and seeing what happens to Danny Masterson for a long time. But I have to wonder if at any time Danny was genuinely sorry for what he put those women through. Because there was a woman, unfortunately, who stayed with Danny and almost got used to the assault of not knowing what was going on when she was asleep and waking up to him. And then when she told him to stop, he beat her. So I wonder if Danny ever says, gee, this might be how Jane Doe 1 felt. I know her name, but I don't want to associate a name with this. So I'm just hopeful that, it doesn't matter if Danny learned or he didn't learn. He's never going to really see the outside. And I don't believe that he's going to get out in any time where he's going to be a danger to anybody. He might, who knows. He's got an appeal going. I just hope he realizes what he's done. Not just to himself, that he's put himself in this situation, but if he can understand the trauma that he put these women through with his behavior. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to share this so that it was clear about what was going on and what happened with Danny. And just so you know, every time Danny does move, he's got to start over again in the new facility he's at, in the orientation, and get the idea of the rules of that facility. Because I've said before, each jail or each facility has its own set of rules and how you do things, more or less. Like how you take your showers, when you take your showers. I mean, you have a whole, again, I hate to use the word because a few of you have questioned me on it, but a whole culture to get used to, again, and see who's running that prison that you're in. And again, it's not always the COs. There's a lot more inmates. So you got to kind of find your way. So as soon as he wasn't comfortable. I don't think Danny's going to be comfortable. I don't know what's going to come of him, but he can't keep moving. You know what I'm saying? So there's rumor that they're at some point going to put him in some sort of, it's not good if he stays by himself and lives in the SHU, special housing unit. That's not good. He can't live like that because that's inhumane. And he might think that might be the thing to do, but ultimately you're going to start going crazy. You have to show up. They're going to make you eat. You just can't. These hunger strikes, they're never successful. So, he's just going to have to find his way because, that's just the way it's going to be. And what's going to be of Danny Masterson? Well, I don't know. That's it, guys. Again, I got some more videos to pull out. I thank you so much. I thank you so much, guys. Don't forget, be better today than you were yesterday, but not half as good as you're going to be tomorrow. This is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Thanks, guys.